Hey guys, it's Kathy, and let's hope that third time is the charm when it comes to recording, because this is my third time trying to record the commentary for this layout. Mostly because I either get interrupted or there's too much noise going on in the background. So my fingers are crossed that everybody outside of my craft room can keep it down. I normally record at night, but I'm kind of doing a big marathon of layouts, trying to get as many put up as possible, all from International Scrapbooking Day. So I'm doing a lot of recording in the daytime and editing and whatnot, as opposed to all at night after everybody goes to bed and it's much quieter. So it's working out a little differently for me. So I'm scrap lifting myself for this layout, and you saw the right quickly I showed a layout that I am scrap lifting, where it's just a bunch of pattern papers kind of going across the layout, and so that's kind of what I'm going to do, just to bring in lots of pattern papers. And I apologize, there'll be a couple of transitions during this video, because um, there's so many times that I had to stop and start, either because I had to go to bed or had to go stop and do something and come back. So, or there's just a lot of me fussing around. So I cut a lot of that out, just because the video, even at 4 times speed, would have been really long to watch. And, you know, I don't mind showing some of the process of when I'm being indecisive, but you don't need to see the whole long, drawn out process of me not being able to decide what I want to do. Um, I really don't want to have to record this a 4th time, so I really hope that they kind of be quiet. That looks so cute right there. Oh, see, that's the problem when I'm recording with my camera or my phone, is I don't get to take quick little snapshots of what I'm doing and seeing if I like it. So I liked that, but because I'm scrap lifting myself, I'm trying to mimic the other layout, and that had a big piece of another kind of pattern paper all along the bottom. So I grabbed that, another Dear Lizzie paper, but it's Fine and Dandy. It's from the Fine and Dandy collection, and it's a black and white polka dot, and it is my favorite paper. So, so I'm going to bring in all these summery, fun ones, just because they match so well with the photo, not because they're themed in any way. Like, nobody was eating watermelons or by cacti or anything like that. But yeah, though there were sunglasses involved, so I'm not worried about there being a theme. Oh, I ran out of tape runner. Um, let's cut out me doing the tape runner thing. That's probably a good idea. So I'm going to back the photo with a piece, just a scrap piece of the Citrus Bliss by Pink Paisley collection that was laying on my desk, just because I love lemons. So it must have just been sitting around. But I'm going to use the gray side. It's just kind of a neutral color, as opposed to backing the photo with several. And I backed it with a red piece of paper, but I put vellum on top, so it actually looks pink. Well, I could have just backed it with pink, but I like the look of this, where you can kind of see the red poking out at different spots and whatnot. So I'm gonna go through all my ephemera, and I go through a lot of ephemera, picking out lots of stuff and not using it and putting it back, especially a lot of acetate. I have a lot of difficulty using acetate. I love the look of them, and they're really cool, but maybe because I use so much pattern paper in my layouts, I have a little bit of difficulty using it, because it doesn't necessarily look good when it's laying against pattern papers. It looks much better on a lighter piece of paper, usually just white. Like, it looks better on white. Um, so so that's why I kind of have a little bit of, and I have a little bit of difficulty sticking it down, because I don't own any kind of tape or anything that would be clear through it, so I can staple it down. I don't have a sewing machine, so I can't sew it down. I really wish I had a sewing machine so that I could sew it down. I love that look of it, but it wouldn't hand stitch well, I don't think, because I usually um, pre-make my holes when I'm stitching with a little needle, and then I go back and stitch through it. So that really wouldn't work through acetate very well. It would probably just make it look kind of bad. So you're gonna see me fiddling around a lot more. All those fruit acetate pieces do not make it on this layout, um, because you can see like just even down there they look so nice on white cardstock. So I'm gonna have to come up with a layout that uses them because I love them. I love the look of them, and there's like 2 lemons and 2 grapefruits and 2 oranges, and then there's some green leaves in my little iris container too. And I think that would look really cute as like a bunch of fruits, like a cluster, a big cluster of fruit on a layout. So definitely think I'm gonna have to attempt that. Anyway, as I look at this layout right now, I realize that it was really cute. Several of the ways that I'd done it. I don't end up keeping it any of those ways. So that's definitely something I'm going to have to kind of work on, I think, is how indecisive I am when I'm scrapbooking and how much I need to move stuff around and just try to see if I can find the best place for it. Maybe stop being so worried about finding the best possible place for this stuff and, just kind of, if I like it where it is, just leave it where it is and not move it around or anything. Like, I like that there. That looks really cute there. And I don't leave either of those pieces there. I do end up moving them. And those little flags, oh my gosh. They move around this layout so much. So I'm going to grab a piece, like a chipboard sticker from the Dear Lizzie Fine and Dandy collection. I just got some of the Fine and Dandy, and it's from, I think, last summer. It's a really cute party collection. Which is great because my daughter's birthday is in the summer, so having a nice summery, fun birthday collection is always nice. And even if you don't do a lot of birthday, I don't do a lot of event scrapping, but even if you don't, I still like to order. I still will order something like a birthday collection, and I will find ways to use almost all of it without it even being themed to birthdays. That little sticker sheet was an old cane company. They were like little stamps, and they were artists, like just different artists, I guess, had done designs for them, and some of them are so. All of them are really cute, and it's really old, like several years old at least. I would say more like from 2011 maybe. And I gotta use them because they are absolutely adorable, and I never think to use them. I'm grabbing stuff here that sometimes I grab for the same things over and over again, and then they get used up, and I forget that I've got all this other stash. I don't know about anybody else, but like when I'm putting stuff back after making a layout, it tends to all go back on top. So then it's the first thing I grab for, and I forget that I've got a bunch of stickers like on the top right hand of my screen. I've got a bunch of stuff from Webster's Pages, and I've got at least 2 sheets of Webster's Pages. I think more like 3 sheets of Webster's Pages stickers that I bought, and Webster's pages. Then I have not even used them yet, and they are super cute. Love the colors. They're amazingly bright and fun. So it's kind of like, what's stopping me from using them? I don't know. I don't know what's stopping me from using them. Those are some dollar store little mini bows that I got. Just one time when I was in doing that, doing a little bit of grabbing some cheap stuff there, and I saw those little mini bows, and I just had to get them. All right, so better lighting now. At least feels like it's better lighting. Yay! My tiny attacher kind of messed up, and it didn't attach that acetate I'm going to say hexagon. I feel it's a hexagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, hexagon. And yeah, so I'm just kind of roughing up the edges. I'm going to do a little bit of inking, well, not inking, but like drawing lines around the edges. Some of my micron pens don't work because I used them on watercolor paints at one time when I was watercoloring, and it just kind of ruined the pen. So I bought new pens for doing that, but in the meantime, I did ruin one of my journaling pens. At the end of the of this video, you'll see that there's a little bit changed. I changed around some of the words like the rad and love, moved them around and popped some stuff up on pop dots too, like that gold sunshine and the gold pineapple, and a few little pieces I just kind of propped up just to have a bit more dimension going on. And I lined the whole thing. I backed the whole thing, I should say, with a piece of turquoise cardstock that's very similar in color to the tissue paper that I backed it with. So I just wanted to bring in that color again because I was bringing in so much pink. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it was like an overabundance of one color, and I felt there needed to be another color going on. So I did. That's the end of that story. And I did my journaling at the end, and not because I didn't want people to know what it says. It's just basically about how, even though we were having a fun day and we were out doing this stuff out at like a little amusement park in the summer, when it came time for me to try and take a picture of the two of them, one of them had to not cooperate. This time being my daughter. A lot of times it is my daughter not cooperating. It's so typical that they're just, they are those typical siblings. Like whenever they show that stereotypical family when the kids are arguing in the back seat of the car and the dad's like, if you don't stop, I'm going to turn this car right around. Those are our kids. They have like a love-hate relationship where they love each other because we're family and they love, being part of this family, but they just egg each other on so bad, and it gets so crazy and so loud here in my tiny little house, and it can get kind of frustrating. But I mean, I love them and they love each other, and it's great to see when they get along. But when they don't get along, it's pandemonium here. So I can't wait for the mix of the new baby in with all that. And they love their little brother. Even though my oldest, there's like almost 7 years in the difference between them. He loves them. He wanted a baby sister after Lily, and he wanted a baby sister so that Lily would be distracted by having a sister, so that she wouldn't bug him and leave his toys alone. That was his reasoning, and I thought that was some pretty sound reasoning coming from a 6-year-old. I couldn't help but laugh. And we didn't find out what we were having till the baby was born. I knew it was a boy. I just knew. And it was a boy. And he was disappointed when we first told him, but then when he came in to see him in the hospital, he just loved him. So that was cute. So I'm going to do 3 different colors of Heidi Swapp Color Shine, and I'm dancing a little because I'm listening to music at the time. See, I'm just kind of shaking my groove thing. This is the first time I think I got to use my Citron from Heidi Swapp that I had ordered. This is like a teal color. I'm going to have to get some more of the blues because I didn't realize I didn't have enough. I already placed an order. I have to place another order. And that big blob of it down by the O and love, it like chunked out. Ugh. It's so gross. It almost went right through the page. It was so wet. Anyway, and I had a little pink. So, pictures to come up. Thanks guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Have an awesome day. Bye.